Hey there guys, it's Obsidian Chill. Got another video for you today. And the title and thumbnail pretty much give this one away. We're talking about survival mode, and then it's back. Survival mode's kind of been like the best, worst kept secret on DC Universe Online ever since the producers letter kind of dropped a hint of that coming back. So in this video I'm going to share pretty much everything you need to know about the upcoming survival mode. There's Sharon and Meps have kind of mentioned stuff in the forums. I'm going to fill in the blanks with stuff they didn't say, or at least the stuff that I'm allowed to say. But this video will certainly get you in the right mindset for survival mode and get you the most prepared. So I'll break down this commentary in two different parts that I'll put timestamps for: structure and the rewards, because that's pretty much what it comes down to and what the main points people are going to want to know. So for the structural survival mode, I want to set the expectation and not just be like a super hype man. You know me in survival mode, I have a very long history of a survival mode, but this one, personally, I would think of it more, view it as more as like season 1.5. It's going to be season 2, but think of it more as season 1.5. And what I mean by that is that season 1, if you weren't around for it, it had not a lot of it, but it had some issues with it that severely impacted how the season went in terms of like the lunch spam and some other little bugs as well. So that one kind of tainted season 1. So now with season 2 is essentially going to be the exact same setup as season 1. And don't think of it as like a do-over, because stuff has changed, which I'll get into just in a moment. But that's what I want you to see this as. Season 1 it's season 1 with all the issues addressed. So that means it's also going to be 4-man again. So yes, I would love an 8-man SM again. I realize that in the time frame that the developers had to create this survival mode is going to be basically season 1.5. So that's why it's still nice, because we still get a survival mode, we still adjusted, we still get any rewards, all that kind of stuff. But don't think of it as like some drastically new survival mode. I really hope for season 3, which is their focus now. Season 3 is going to be what we think of more of like a ground up SM. Hopefully that can be 8-man. But this one's going to be 4-man. So the arena is going to be the same. It's going to be that Teen Titans training room, which is the duo from Teen Titans. I forget what the duo is called, but I mean, you've all seen that room. And also the checkpoint structure will be the same. So the rounds that we get the checkpoints are going to be set up the exact same way. So what does that mean for the bosses? The bosses are going to be all the same except for 2. They've switched out the bosses for round 5 and for round 10. So what that means is Vampire Lord and Ultraman are gone. So Vampire Lord and Ultraman are not going to be part of this season 2. They have been switched out for new bosses, which also dictate the theme of this SM. So what that means is that we're still going to be fighting Lex Luthor, Vandal Savage, Deathstroke, King Shark, Johnny Quick, Ultimate Soldier, Minotaur, and Black Manta. But the order of those bosses have changed from season 1. So the order, when you have to think about it, is it's not just the boss order changing, it's the boss difficulty. Because say you fight Johnny Quick at like round 2, and then he's really easy. Even though it's his teleport, his tether, all his mechanics, it's not going to kill you at round 2, because at round 2 it means you fight him at round 12 and 22. Because the structure is the exact same as it's 30 rounds again. So Johnny Quick at 22 is very simple, straightforward. But if you put him at like 8, if you have to fight Johnny Quick at 8, that means you have to fight him at 18 and 28. 20 is where we fought Minotaur last year. Or not last year, but last SM. Because I think it was like May 2019 when Season 1 came out. So that's a big difference, finding Johnny Quick at 8 versus 2. So that's what I mean by when the boss order changes, it also changes the difficulty of SM, because they're going to be a lot more difficult rounds in terms of their damage, their combos, and everything else. So that's why, even though you think the boss order might not change much, it does actually change the difficulty quite a bit. So the other not main difference, but the main aspect of this SM is they want to make rounds 1 through 10 much more accessible to players, which means, don't think of it like an event version of SM rounds, but they want to be design rounds 1 through 10 to be completely farmable at players entering at Legion episode content. So that means the minimum CR to enter this SM is going to be, I think, 310, which is what you can enter the Legion episode at. Obviously you wouldn't want to be 310. You're going to get destroyed at the later rounds, but rounds 1 through 10, they designed it to be around that because they want it to be farmable for marks so people can get the rewards on the vendor. So rounds 1 through 10 will be really easy. Rounds 11 through 20 get a little bit harder, and then obviously 21 through 30 are be designed to be the like elite version or the much difficult rounds. So that's pretty much it for the structure. We can touch on the rewards now. So the big aspect is the same currency. So if you were around for Season 1, it's the data chips. If you've saved your data chips from Season 1, or if you had some left over, you can spend them again, so that's perfectly fine. And also, even though we've had a Season 1, and Season 2 is pretty much the same aspect of Season 1 in terms of like the arena, bosses, stuff like that, there's only one reward that's returned from last year, and that's the Abysmal Horns. The Abysmal Horns dropped off Minotaur, and that little horn style. I mean, I wasn't a fan of it, but some people were. But the Abysmal Horns will drop again in the Season 2, but that means that the Shadow Orbital, which dropped off Vampire Lord, and the Heat Vision Orbital, which dropped off Ultraman, do not return. So those two orbital strikes do not return, the Abysmal Horns do. So that also means the specific round-specific rewards, like the Shadow Trinkets, they cannot be earned again. But there's a catch. So basically, if you did do Season 1, and unlocked round, say, like, what is it, like 5, 10, 15, 25, or 20? No. 5, 10, 15? I forget. There was the Shadow Werewolves, there was the Shadow Bat, the Shadow Sidekick. So whatever specific rounds this works, I know 5, 15, 25 was the Shadow Bat. No, Shadow Bat was 25. Whatever. You get the point. But the Shadow Trinkets cannot be earned again, but if you did beat them in Season 1, and then you just didn't have enough marks to buy it, you can purchase those Shadow Trinkets again, but you have to have it unlocked from Season 1. So that brings us to the new rewards. So I guess I could touch on the older rewards again. So remember how Season 1 had the two vendors? So on the right-hand side, it was the Shadow Trinkets, and the left-hand side was like the base items. It was like the holographic material, holographic aura, holographic eye, stuff like that. That vendor returns, and all those items that are rewards from Season 1 can be earned again. And that's you don't have to be locked out because it's just the general rewards. So all those rewards that were on Season 1 vendor, like all the holographic stuff, those pets items, stuff like that. Actually, not the pets because they were on the other vendor. But all those rewards can be earned again. And then the new rewards have been added for this season. So we've got new trophies. We've got new titles. We've got 2 brand new rewards for round 30. So what that means is that there's still a crown for completing round 30, but the crown itself you have to be earned. So think of it like with that checkpoint structure. If someone had 2 checkpoints but didn't actually beat like 25, they kind of skipped it and went to another round. If you didn't beat 25 or rounds 1 through 30, you're not going to get the crown. So you can't just step in at the end, beat 30 and get the crown. You have to complete rounds 1 through 30, all of them, to unlock the crown. But there is another reward for round 30, so if you beat round 30, you get this reward additionally. So the 2 rewards for round 30, one's for the entire SM and one's just for round 30. So I can't go into detail about the rewards. Maps and Shares have not shared those details. That's more just like a surprise when SM drops. But they're definitely worth it, in my opinion. If they're much more improved than over Season 1 in terms of rewards. Like the Shadow Trinkets and the Shadow rewards were certainly nice, but the rewards for this year are definitely worth it. So if you're kind of teetering on the edge of coming back for this SM, I would if you are a person that loves rewards, styles, auras, all that kind of stuff, materials, chromas, whatever. If you're a person that likes that kind of stuff and likes the rarity of it, then you're certainly going to benefit from this SM in terms of those rewards. So that's pretty much everything that I can think of to cover. If you have specific questions, you can put them in the comment section. I can try to answer it. I may not know. There's also a forum that's being created. But I'll link this video on the forums as well. But there's also a forum where Sharon and Meps have been talking about. So in terms of when this is coming, because a lot of people are going to say, when is this coming? They don't have a set date yet. It's going to be early March. So that's right now we're in the second week of February. So we're still looking at another like 3 to 4 weeks away. So in terms of a time frame, if you're thinking about coming back and leveling up Legion or getting your Seer up or getting the OP face, whatever, finishing your Elite gear, leveling up some artifacts, that's something that you want to do in those 3-4 weeks. Of course, I'll release a video once we know the exact date, but there also DC could be also doing events like double XP or double marks for Legion. They may be helping us in terms of gearing up for SM. We don't know yet, but that's certainly something to look forward to as well, just in case. So that's it, guys. Any other specific questions, put them in the comment section, and I'll see if I can answer them. Take Take care, and let's go SM.